place, a cloud storage platform. So any files that you have, anything that you want to store, you can just store it in the cloud instead of having to store it on your computer. We use Dropbox. We also use the Google Drive also, but this is a place where a lot of people, they'll actually transfer files from, because you can't necessarily transfer files to other people's Google Drive without them having access. You don't necessarily want them to have that type of access. So we use Dropbox when we want to share different files and stuff like that. For me, I've actually saved one of my first websites in here. And I guess I'll show you guys. I don't know how bad it looks. We'll see. I'm pretty sure it's bad. I got books in here. Look, programming for non-programmers. I should share that with you guys, huh? Even though you're programmers now. Little humble little Ruby book. Maybe I'm gonna do that right now. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. Anyway, let's go back to Sublime. Everybody open up Sublime. And the next thing I want you guys to open up, actually, before we even do that, is GitHub for desktop. So type that in and we'll try to find a link that is not an ad. And then you should be able to download this on your computers also.
It's called
GitHub.
Desktop, like GitHub.
GitHub, yeah. Type in GitHub for desktop.
All right. And then from there, I'm assuming we have to, drag it to the bottom.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me know when that's done. Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Open it up. You probably have to sign in. Let me sign out so I can. How do I sign out? Okay, that's how I sign up. So are you guys already signing in?
Um,
You still trying to download it? Are you- That's your GitHub. Hold on, what is that? What did that say? Okay, click open again. Connect to GitHub. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. You got it already, Ishmael?
No, it's 9.7.27.
Okay. You already got it. All right, cool.
Thank
Everybody signed up?
I'm signed in.
Signed in, I'm sorry, yes. All right. So I'll be writing these I will be writing these instructions on the board also. Like landscaper, get rid of this. And this workflow is a little different than what we've been doing. In my opinion, it's a little bit more complicated, but whatever. All right. Okay, so let's say we want to develop, we're going to start keeping all of our files in the documents folder because we can't necessarily save things to the desktop like I would like to. I've been having a little bit of issues doing that. So the first thing we'll do is we'll open up our documents folder. Everybody do that. So click on this, the Finder. Once you click on the Finder, click on Documents. And everybody give me an indication that that's done for everybody. I don't want to leave anybody behind on this. Just yell out done when you're done. Y'all still looking for the documents folder?
No, I'm waiting for mine to download.
Oh, you still waiting for yours to download? Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
it should be done in like a minute though.
What about you, Matt?
I'm not,
All right, you're done too, right, LaFille? LaFille,
I'm trying to go with system preferences. That's where you go, right?
to what?
System preferences.
No, no, I mean, you.
I just finished.
Go to, yeah, where? And then documents. All right. Is that documents or that's applications, isn't it? That's documents? Oh, that's where you've been saving and stuff at?
Uh-huh.
All right, cool. That's cool. Just let me know when you signed in, Ishmael, and then we'll proceed.
All right, I'm signed in.
All right, cool. Now, okay, you're signed in. Now go to the Finder and open up the Documents folder. All right. Now we're all going to create a folder called MBK space pilot. And I'm going to put my initials on mine. Oh, actually, I don't want to do spaces. MBK pilot, your initials.
How are we supposed to make a new file again?
Right click.
All right,
It's a folder though, it's not a file.
yeah, folder.
Okay, that.
You're supposed to right click and then,
Right click, it should say new folder after that.
all right.
And then everybody let me know when you're done. If you don't yell out you're done, I won't know unless I ask you. Okay, all right. Are you done, Matt? Matt, are you done?
No.
Okay. You still working on it too, Philip? You still saving the folder?
Yeah. Like I reset the name. Well,
What do you want us to name it? Let's
The MBK file.
go to Finder.
Finder.
Yeah, no, it's right here.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Okay. Take the spaces out of there, rename it. Right click it, it should hopefully give you it. And then your initials.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Cool. Everybody open up Sublime. Let me know when you've done that. Okay. And then open up a new tab. Once you open up that new tab, you guys see what I'm doing? No, you can't see. All right, come on. Open up a new tab in Sublime and type in HTML, index.html. And click Save As. And we're going to save this in our folder that we just created. So just to show you guys what I'm doing, I typed in index.html. I went to File, I clicked on Save As. And then I'm going to go to the MBK pilot folder. I'm sorry, actually, don't even do that yet. Now we need to create a new folder within that MBK pilot. And this is where our websites are going to be. So this is just, I'm going to create a folder called I'm going to create a folder called Website 1. So within your MBK pilot folder, create a website folder called MBK Website 1. I'm sorry.
It won't let me save this.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Just save it to your documents, and then put it in your folder, put it in a new folder. It's in the folder.
Yeah, so what's it saying? You trying to save it?
Right. You see how it says?
Oh, yeah, you can't do that. So cancel. Before you do that, go to MBK, your MBK folder, bless you.
Right.
Double click it. Type in, create another folder. Okay.
I got the second folder down.
Hold on, yeah, but I didn't want it like that though. Go in here, click on it, double click that, and then create another folder called MBK1.
It keeps clicking off.
All right. Click that, double click that, right click, new folder. Call it Website 1.
Right.
It's gonna be a weird workflow. Okay, so hit enter. Because we got to create the folder and then we can create the documents within inside of that. Now go back to Sublime.
Okay.
Go to File at the top. You gotta go at the very top right here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very weird. We may not end up doing this. Click on Save As. This workflow is weird. Okay. Where to go here? Actually, uncheck that.
Check the Macintosh.
Yeah, just hit cancel real quick. Right click it again. Let me see if I can, save that. Okay, oh, hit file. It's not giving me the option. Okay, save as. Click on that arrow, down arrow to the right.
Here?
No, not that one. That one, yeah,
Documents.
no. Okay, uncheck that real quick. Just, yeah, it doesn't matter. Hit cancel. Let me see what I end up doing. Why did it let me do that? What we want to do is we want to save it in the folder, website. Go back to Salon.
If it's not working, just save it in documents and insert it in the folder.
You said if it's not working, what?
You can just save it in documents and then you can just insert it into the folder.
See, we're gonna keep on pushing it, and it's a certain path that may be the issue. Okay, let's do it the way he said it though. All right. So just save it at. Just go to hit save as. Let's see what he does. What he's saying. Click that.
All right.
Go to clicking in documents. All right, hit save. Go to your Finder. This is turning out to be a pain. Okay, go here. Drag it in here. Double click that.
Is there?
Yeah. Double click that website. Yeah. All right. Hit the back button. Click this. Drag it down. Yeah, this isn't right. All right. All right. Go to your GitHub.
This is supposed to do that.
Just hit done. Yeah, you're signed in.
All right.
Cool. You got it. Go to this right here. Hit that plus sign, not the plus sign up here. Exit out of that. Yeah, all right. Cool. Now go to local path. GitHub. No. Okay. Yeah. Go desktop. So this is a problem. Type in desktop right here. No. Delete all.
I'll just put this out.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Check out of here real quick. All right, hit that again. Okay. Oh, not everything. Just all the way to the G.
All right.
Hit the back button. Hit it again. Type in desktop. Backslash.
Good.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's documents. Type in documents. All right, backslash. What'd you call your MBK folder? MBK pilot LN, type that in. Type in backslash, website, 1. Hit the number. That's what you call that folder, right?
Right.
All right, hit create repository. All right, go to Sublime. Okay, now go to save as at the top.
Here.
Yeah.
Something I did?
No, it's nothing you did. Click that, click those double arrows. Not the double, the other. Oh, actually, no, that's cool. Hit that. That's what we need. All right, click on website one. Hit save. All right, now go to, GitHub. Yeah, exit out of that. Double click that. Type in a commit right here. I mean, no, I'm sorry, just type in anything. Just type in first commit. Hit commit to master. And then you can hit publish. Right at the top. Push the repository right here. All right, cool. So I'm gonna show them how to do it, Jay, and I'm gonna show you how to do it, okay? All right, so cool.
Is this right? For the local path?
Yeah, except that file name is funky.
On the website?
Huh?
The website, which one?
Yeah, the website, the number pound one,
Yeah,
all of that, because it has to be a file where we can actually,
so just change it to one.
yeah, change it to one, something simple.
What do you want me to name the repository?
The repository is gonna be the name of that folder.
Okay.
All right,
So
so,
website one.
yeah, go to MBK pilot.
Mhm.
Website one, and don't have a space in it, so change it to without the space. Oh, you already got it. Did you already push that?
No, I just saved it.
You just saved it, and it automatically,
No, I saved it to my documents first.
oh, okay. All right, so click on open Sublime.
Does it have space? Is it okay?
No, take out the space.
Okay.
All right, Sublime. Minimize that so you can see. All right, go to File. I'm sorry, you have to minimize it. Go to Save As, and click on this arrow up here, and save it in here. Save it in there, and then hit save. You have to delete one of those. No, it'll actually replace it. That's cool. All right, now back that out. Delete this index.html. You can delete that HTML tab. Type that in. HTML tab. Oh, wait. No, HTML and then hit the button.
Oh,
tab
that's
button.
cool. That's cool. Is this open? Have this no one?
Yeah, that's just showing you what's going on. Hit Command S, and let's see where it saves to.
I can erase something supposed to pop up.
It's in the bottom. I don't know why.
All right, probably changed. Go to, open up your GitHub repository. Or your GitHub for desktop. See, okay, so this is the thing, right? Like, I've worked in a dev shop where they've used the GitHub for desktop.
Mhm.
I don't use that. Most developers don't use that. We use the command line, the thing that you guys were already using, except in the terminal, right? But the problem is, hit the plus sign above you guys.
Alright. Send it with me.
No? Okay, yeah, it's nothing in there yet. Hit the plus sign because we still got to recreate the repository. And give it a name.
Right there.
You did?
What should we call it?
Whatever you want to call it. The repository. I call mine website one. It's not.
It says no change.
Because you probably say that somewhere else. Let me see. See, that's in documents. That's what I'm saying. Like, this workflow is a pain because it shouldn't even.
Oh,
All right, now type in summary, you guys just type in whatever you want to type, whatever you want to call the commit. Did you? Okay, you got to create yours still. He created it. Okay, so hit the plus sign.
My repository?
Yeah, you already created it?
Yeah, it's right there.
so first command and then I can just commit to master and done.
Commit to master and then publish. hit publish over here. Now it's, and then, you can description, but you hit that publish.
That's cool.
What does that say? Detroit,
I'll log in, key change, yes.
oh, okay.
It just
I
won't.
don't know, mine didn't do that.
And then commit to master.
Yeah,
The login key.
no, it's something's going on with yours, so let's go back to Sublime and see where it's saving at. Hit command, hit file, yeah, hit that, save as, or see if it's going to the right place. Hit documents, UK pilot, is that it? Okay, hit save. Place, see, I hope this isn't continue to happen. Okay, now go to GitHub. Nothing? Click on the plus sign. Oh yeah, see, it's not even, we don't have the right path. So what this path is, this is just a path to where your document is, right? So hold on, we still gotta type in it. Let's back off, not all of it, let's just take out that G, right?
Just the G.
I mean, put the G back in there, sorry. Let's back that up, delete all the way to the backslash, right? Okay, now we're gonna show where, what to look at. So go to type in desktop. It should be a capital D, I think, I believe. I don't know if it makes a difference or not. Desktop, and then back out of desktop. We put it in documents. So documents, backslash, and MBK, what was it? MBK pilot. You didn't have any spaces in MBK pilot, did you?
No, let me check. I think I did. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know how to type that in, so take that out real quick. Change that to where it doesn't have the space. You can rename it.
Lowercase, does it matter?
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. I don't know. I would do lowercase. I would just keep it. And then your initials. I'll do another stroke of this. All right. And double click on it, and take out that space right there for that website one. All right. Cool. All right. Now let's go here, and we remember the path. It's MBK pilot.
Like that.
Website one. And create repository. Okay, so now the changes are in there. Now all you gotta do, instead of, you just hit whatever you wanna call this change, first commit or whatever. Commit to master. All right, hit publish. You're only gonna have to hit publish one time and then publish repository, click that. Now it's up in GitHub. Now, let's just try now, what I want you to do, Matt, what I want you to do, Ishmael, what I want you to do, Philip, is go back to Sublime, make another change to that file. And after you make a change to that file, then commit it in GitHub. Commit it in GitHub for desktop. All right.
What do you want us to do?
That, that file that you created in Sublime,
Yeah,
just go there and make another change to it and send another commit.
okay.
All right. All right, let's see what we got. Go to, I got a feeling you a little bit further along. Go to, let me see if you can find it. Let's see what's going on there. Website, okay. So yeah, Let's change this folder to MBK pilot in your first initial and last initial.
Oh, this is inside.
Oh, take GitHub out of there. Take that GitHub for desktop. Just put it on your desk. Yeah, wherever. Okay, take this. You can throw this away, or you can do whatever with it. Get it out of here. Because this folder is only going to have your work in it. Okay. So hit that back button again. This is documents. Cool. Change this to where there's no spaces in there. If you guys run into issues where it's not changing the document, let me know. Let's see, yeah, it's weird. Click it and then hold it and then click it again. All right. And then I will do lowercase. All right, cool, enter. Now let's go in there, double click that. And that folder should be called website one. No space. Cool, all right. Now, let's go to Sublime. We've already done that. Go up here and hit the file to where we're going to save it. We're going to make sure it saves. Oh, not, well, yeah, hit that right there. We're just going to make sure that it saves where it's supposed to save. So, documents, MBK pilot.js, work with that. Is it in there? Okay. It should be in there, right? All right, cool. All right, now open up your GitHub. Yeah, there you go. All right, now hit this plus button. And we're gonna go, nope. Click on there. We're gonna change the path. I wanted to go over change what this path means. We're gonna type in documents, capital D. Were you able to push it? You just make a change?
Yeah, make the changes.
All right, click on the GitHub, documents /, put in MBK pilot, your initials, that's, no, /, not dash. Yeah. MBK pilot. However you, no space, however you had the file name. And it was your initial too, right? All right, now /. And then the name of the file, the folder, which was website one, right? You choose. No, you good. Hit open. Oh. All right. Click on that. Choose your create repository. All right, cool. Go here. All right, go here. Now hit this. Now type in HTML and then hit the tab button. There you go. Hit Command S. You should be good. Command S. All right, cool. Now go back to GitHub. Go here. Click on this. Something happened. Click back over here, and then click this file. And we'll see where if it's saved in the right space. Maybe it's saved in the right spot. Go to File at the very top of the page. At the very top. Were you guys able to push another change to GitHub? Is all your changes Sublime automatically popping up and GitHub for desktop?
Once I save, I just go commit.
Yours is not. All right, hit save as. It's creating a new document.
It's a error message.
Okay, click on that. hit save.
Should I say this as Steve?
Oh, you're not supposed to be saving it. You should be able to just Command S and it'll automatically save it.
Alright.
So hit the cancel button.
You said it should automatically push through on, I'm sorry.
Huh?
Sorry about that. You said it should automatically be a push through on.
Yeah, it's not doing that. Did you change something?
Yeah, I changed, on the spline.
Whatever you hit, you can call this first commit, whatever you want to call it. This is like, whatever you're calling this is save. I'll be right over there, Philip. And then Ishmael, I'll be right over here. Hit commit to master. And then hit publish. Publish directory. Now this is pushing up to get a, all right. Now let's just try it out. Let's go between that body and hit P. All right. Tab. Yeah, just type whatever. And close it. Command S. Go, come over here. Let's see it doing. It's not, it's creating another folder. Another file. What's happening with yours?
When I saved it, just listen.
All right, where's Sublime at? Hit Command S.
Oh, and there it is. I fixed it.
How'd you fix it?
I just left it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we might not be able to use this. This is too much. All right, let's see. Command S for me real quick. Where's this saving to? MBK Pilot. Oh, the path is wrong. Oh, well, no, it's not. Type in website one. Is that the name of? Yeah. Type in documents. Hold on. Actually. Type in documents. Matter of fact, I'll be right back. Let me get this up. Okay, what's going on with yours?
So I tried to,
Try to command, that's it.
yeah, there was an error message on top of it. I guess it's and we just named it, so. And it saved the first two.
No such file or directory. Okay, so there's no directory. That's called MBK Pilot. I don't know where that space came, but hit OK. And go to File, Okay, let's just follow it, okay, yeah, hit that. Index. Hit the back button, go back to documents. Let's make sure we put it in documents, indicate pilot, IF, all right, okay. And website one, all right, now hit, okay. Hit cancel. Oh, was that how we would save it?
Oh,
What just
yeah.
happened?
Yeah, that's how we did it the first time.
Okay, so when you hit command, that's what happens? Oh, and that's not right. I mean, it's not NVK space pilot. So maybe when we command S, it locks in where it first saved at. So let's hit file save and save it. Save as, yeah, because we did change it. Okay, that, and then hit save. Replace. Nothing?
I think it did one second. Yeah.
Okay, so let's try it again. Try to put in another change, Jay.
Okay.
Yeah, let me know if it just works. I'll be right over here with it.
Do I have to go through that saving process?
No, let's try command S and hopefully it. All right, it's working. All right, so we're gonna get you going, and then I'm gonna show everybody on the board. How do y'all feel about this? It's working? How do y'all feel about this workflow versus what we were doing in C9? You guys think it's a good trade-off?
No,
You don't think it's a good
not
trade-off?
at all. Wait,
We got 1-1. What you guys think up there?
I haven't really used it that much to know, like, to get a concrete answer, but
I mean, quite honestly, I find it horrendous.
All right. Okay, so what are we trying to do? We're trying to get it to the Sublime.
It don't cooperate.
Hit P tab. Type something in there. All right, that's cool. And then let's save it and see if it saves where we're supposed to save at. Save at, and it's not gonna tell me, give me a choice of where I want to save it at. Edit, website one, save, place. Type in Detroit 12, capital D. Type in Detroit 12. Type in Detroit 11, capital D. Document, maybe click on the element. Type in website too, let's see what happens.
Website two?
Type in first commit. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It could be misspelled. Yeah, that's cool. Make the master, publish. Let's try this again. Sublime. Type in, hit tab for me. Um, okay. Hit Command S. Everybody can take a break. Or, huh? Till 10:47. Command working out. All right.
Second commit?
You just type with anything. And then the master. Now I can see where we're going to Sublime at the bottom. It shows Sublime is so dope. When you type that in there and you hit Command S, Command S again, it's showing us exactly the file where it's going.
Okay,
So it is something we should talk about called the path, the file path, and it's just what it sounds like. You want to go over path after your break? Okay. It's nothing real. Hey Ray, this is Richard Grundy calling with Journey. Give me a call or you shoot me a text message at your earliest convenience. 248-388-0430. 248-388-0430. I want to get the details on the new student. They would have to get signed up for GEYT today. Um, and I want to do everything I can to make that happen or assist in that process. I do have a lot of meetings, but just give me a call or shoot me a text. We'll figure it out. 248-388-0430.
Check it, it's sexy.
Come on, what's going on, man?
Welcome back.
gotta be kidding me. What time did I say? 10:37?
Wait, there's no.
Did I say that? Or I didn't say that. I said 47? Sucks.
What? We came out this jacket ain't cool though. Not just now. The jacket's hard.
All right, so the root. Computers set up. What's going on? So these are a couple things that everyone is supposed to know as far as the code. And you guys know it, and you've probably seen it already. You probably guess what it is at this point. But the root of a directory is pretty much the closest you can get to the computer, or the root of the computer, right? So it says, what is the root of directory in the computer file system primarily used in the Unix and Unix-like operating systems, Macs? The root directory is the first and topmost directory in hierarchy. It can be likened to the trunk of a tree as a starting point where all branches originate from. So we were looking at, where can I type this in at? We kept on seeing something in the root of in the directories today. And it said, it looked like this, right? Can you guys see that? You can't see that. Hold on. You still can't see it. All right, I'll type it in here. Come on, give me a break. Let me see where I can type this in at, sorry. Oh, let's type it in here. So earlier we were trying to, I was saying, come all the way down to this and go to documents. This is the root of, is the root of all the directories in the computer, in your Mac computers, pretty much. So when I wanted to go down to that, I wanted to go to the root of the directory. Now this is a file path. And I'll describe what this is, and you guys probably already know what it is from that nonsense we went through earlier. Documents, MBK, pilot, RG, website 1. This file path, this is the path to get to all the documents. Starting right here, if we want to get to this document right here, this folder right here. Documents, MBK pilot RG, website 1. So that's the file name path. That's the file path. So that's a couple things that we went over today, and we kind of encountered. We don't necessarily have to look. We haven't really been looking at those things because we haven't really dealt with all the different folders and directories, within our computers. But that's something that you'll definitely become familiar with as you become a developer and as you save in different places. In the perfect world, we would be able to use this. We will be able to use the terminal. It's either called the terminal or command line. I know you guys have heard of it before. And we would be using all of our git pushes and git commands. They would actually go in this terminal. We've been using something similar to that in C9 when we use bash. So bash, terminal, command line, those are all the same things. And that's what developers actually use to kind of control their web development, and their files and their code. This is where they push from. This is where I push from on my laptop, from the command line of the terminal. The problem is because there's so much things on these computers, and we don't really get to the root of the actual computer. We can't get close enough to the computer to actually use this terminal command line. And there's a lot of things we can't really download on this computer, so that's why we're not using it. But in the perfect world, we'll be using this command line, and we'll be doing all of our pushes. You know, git add -a, git commit, blah blah blah, git push. We would do all that from here. And we would do all of our code in Sublime, which we're going to try to use. I'm not sure we're going to continue to use it. The reason why I like using Sublime is that that's what actual developers use. It works better. The problems that you guys were having yesterday when you were trying to pull up your websites in the browser and use a preview in C9, this doesn't have those issues. Anything that comes up in here, as we saw yesterday, it comes up right in the browser. Let me see if I still have your websites. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna show you right here. It comes up right in the browser. So let's see, H1, heading. And all I would do is hit right click. So this is all you guys have to do now, right click. And then you can see the app, you can see what you're typing, your app or your website right in the browser, just by right clicking, instead of using that preview screen. So it's not really, it's not distorted. So that's the reason why I'm thinking of moving over to Sublime, using Sublime and using GitHub for desktop, because we can't use the terminal as I would like to use it to save things. So what I want to do, I want to do some more practicing, some more of you guys practicing using GitHub desktop. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a quick exercise just to determine if it's something that you guys want to use. I understand it, so it's not hard for me to save the files, but it is acting kind of tricky with this computer. Sometimes it's saving 2 different files in 2 different places. Instead of reverting the file back, then we go back here and push the commands up. So this is what I'm gonna ask you guys to do real quick. The web page, click the header, H1 through H5, like a table. You guys all know how to do this. Make a list. Use the P tag. Assignment. GitHub using for desktop. Okay. So this is a quick assignment. These are the things I'm asking you to do. Make a web page, include H1 through H5, make a table, make a list, use the P tab, push to GitHub using GitHub for desktop. Everything is pretty easy, extremely easy. You guys know how to do everything. This is the only thing I'm trying to see. I'm trying to determine, I want you guys to determine whether we want to use Sublime or whether we want to use C9. There's pros and cons of both of them. But I'm gonna let you guys determine that by seeing which one, you guys prefer, okay? I'm here to help. So usually I don't, I say ask each other. This GitHub thing is kind of tricky. Right now, GitHub for desktop is new to me too. I tried it yesterday for the first time while we were in class after we had those issues of displaying your projects in the browser. I just got a chance to try it again this morning. So this is one thing, ask me for help right here. I'm here to help you guys, okay? Because I kind of want to get through this. This wasn't really part of the plan for us, but I don't want to continue where you guys are building websites and you don't have a clue of what they look like.
You want to include all the headings?
No, just any of them.
Oh.
Any of them. The only thing I'm really testing for is this. But, you know what? I'm going to put something else on there since you just answered that, though. open in browser.
I have a question.
Yes.
How do you add the style sheets tab?
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Great. Let's see. There's a menu here. I mean, one way you can do it is like this.
Oh, and then okay.
Yeah.
Could I see the list of what I have to do again?
Huh?
The list of what we have to do?
Yep. Sorry. Here you go.
Okay.
Oh. How do I save the name? Or no, do I just save it?
How do you save the name?
No, because it's a new file, but like, it's like a new file.
Yeah, so go to save as.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me just blow this up a little bit. Save as and put it in the same, oh, this is a different project, right?
Or I wanna, it's the same project, kind of add a style sheet.
Oh, you said put it in the website one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's,
so yeah, hit save as. I mean, hit save. Okay, so that's a good, can you screenshot that real quick and put that in, Journey Slack?
yeah,
Yeah.
we just have to buy it.
No, you don't have to buy it. We'll never have to buy it. That's the beauty of it. We just continue to hit cancel. Anyway, so when you're using Sublime, there'll be this thing that pops up that says, if you want to get the full version or if you want to get the extended version, you're trialing us out. You know, you're trialing us to death. If you want to get the real version, hit, you can purchase it or you can hit cancel. Just continue to hit cancel. I've been using it since 2013, the free version, and I always hit cancel. My instructors, they've done the same thing. There's web developers, and they use a free version.
What's the premium version get you?
Nothing. It's the same thing as far as I know. It just gets you that thing not popping up in the middle of your coding.
You need to go find it on
Find what?
the website.
What way?
Said, open it around.
Open the browser, yeah. So all you gotta do is go to Sublime. That's not Sublime, is it? Oh, that's Sublime. Right click. Open in browser. Now you can see what it looks like.
All right, did everything.
Cool. Did you push it to GitHub?
Yep.
It's not showing up when I open the browser.
Hmm?
It's not showing up when I open the browser. Just,
Exit out of there. Hit Command S. All right, do it again.
same.
Yep.
I just want to see my profile.
Okay. Everybody pushed up to GitHub. This is the test, really. I mean, you know, you guys did that pretty quick. This is what we.
It actually isn't that bad.
No, it's great. Well,
Yeah.
the GitHub part,
Yeah.
the GitHub for desktop,
Yeah.
it's funny, right? Because this developer that I used to work with, I was actually managing different projects. He didn't use a command line to push his stuff up the way that you guys were using it with the git add, git commit, whatever. He wasn't using that. He was using GitHub for desktop. And when he asked me to save some stuff or push some stuff up to him, I opened up the command line. He was like, "No, we don't use that. We just use GitHub for desktop." But he was good. He was code developer, mobile developer. He's an iOS developer, Android developer. He's incredible. So it's weird that he was using that. Every other developer I've used, we use a command line. The thing that makes it a pain in this class is the way, for us, is that we can't get to the root directory the way that we want to. Like if we just open up something in Sublime and hit Command S, it won't let us save it. You know what I mean? We have to save it. We have to create a folder to save it in. So for me, that's the issue with me. What do you think? Were you able to push up to get up?
Yeah,
No issues?
I believe so, yeah.
How'd yours work?
Right now, I'm still working on it.
Okay, let's just see if we can push it up.
Right here.
Huh?
Right here, on here it is, like you said, push it.
Yeah. Remember how to push it up?
No.
That's cool. So did you start a new document or something?
Yeah. Is I supposed to?
I think they all use website too, but it's cool though. So go to the first thing that that's always best to do is create your folder.html. Because when you create your folder.html, then all of this makes sense, right?
Right.
You see how that looks now, and you can't really tell what's going on. Nobody can tell what's going on, and it's not you. It's just that they probably hit save first. So once you hit index.html or whatever, once you save that type of file, it automatically gives you the styling as far as the code editor. So let's hit file command. No, not file. Go to file. Yeah, hit save as, and back that hit delete button. Hit type index.html. All right, now go to documents, scroll to the documents, and then go to MBK pilot, website 2, and then hit save. Replace it. You're gonna love this. Oh, it didn't happen. Okay, that's cool. Let's delete that stuff and let's try it a different way. Okay, so hit the cut. That's cool. Type in HTML tab. So the first, you don't even have to put that arrow no more. Well, yeah, go ahead since you're doing it. Tab. See, hit tab now. Just type HTML in there, tab. You see how it just created the whole document for you.
Right.
I forgot the document because I didn't have to type the document because I learned on Sublime. So all I would ever type is HTML and hit tab, and all that stuff would already pre-filled for me. You see what I'm saying? So the first thing that you want to do is with using Sublime is you want to type in index or whatever .html, and it tells you what type of document it is, and then hit Command S. All of that stuff will pop up for you after that. So hit Command S. Hopefully it saves to the right spot. That's what's up. See, you see how many tools, how useful this thing is. So one thing that LaFille, I don't know why I want to call you LaFille, man.
LaFille?
LaFille, Brandon LaFille. So the one thing that we discovered looking at this is that when you save down here, when you Command S down here, it shows you the file path. So that's one cool thing that this does. You can actually also, you can have this where you can have different views. You can have like 4 different views. Watch this. Layout, single column, double column. You see what I'm saying? A grid. So you can look at all your code for 4 different ones. So this is a real text editor. But what I want to do is I want to see what you guys want to do. If you guys want to continue to go through this route, or if you want to go back to C9. What's the feeling?
I'm starting to like this one.
You liking this? What did you say, Jay?
Said I'd rather do this.
You like C9?
I said I'd rather do this one than C9.
Okay.
I'm a little conflicted because C9 you can preview it, and for this you have to go and you have to open the browser. But I think I'm would like to say this.
You the person I would think would, because the preview messed you up.
It did.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm used to that.
Right.
But I can get used to this.
Mhm.
You know, opening the browser isn't that bad.
All right. Ishmael, what you thinking?
I think it's cool. It just need to like get accustomed to it and work out the kinks a little bit. But it seems like it has less issues in Cloud9.
Yeah.
So, but again, the preview is kind of helpful, like keeping you on track of like kind of like putting the idea you want in front of you.
Right.
It kind of helps, but I'll get used to this.
So what you guys will do is that, because this, I mean, what you get used to doing is going back and forth and hit reload. So that's what'll happen, is that you look at this, then you look at that, what's in the browser, and you hit reload, and it'll show you the update. What time, how are we looking at time today? 11:15, we got some time. What I want you guys to do is continue with either the JavaScript or the jQuery on CodeAcademy. Yeah. We'll do that for a bit. Cool? We're gonna have a visitor today too. I gotta look up her name. I know her nickname, but she. Okay, so the hands up united. Okay, let me pull that up. At 12, we're gonna build a site together. We're gonna build a site, at 12 o'clock, we're gonna build a site using Bootstrap together. So everybody get as much as you can in Code Academy with, versus JavaScript, whether it's JavaScript or whatever. At 12, be ready for some pair programming.
All right.
But Anybody need to take a break? You said yeah? No? All right, cool. So everybody ready at 12? Yes?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. Of course. Hold on. And did have a desktop, but I usually use the command line, so it's been kind of straight up.
Walk over here.
So class, this is, pronounce your name? Idalene and Tori. And they've, he's one of the co-founders for Hands Up. And she runs a lot of different tech programs. I met her back in last year in Philadelphia for the Yes We Code hackathon. So she sets up a lot of programs like this, just larger programs across the country. And they set up a program similar to this in St. Louis. So they just came to check us out and hopefully give me some pointers.
How are they doing?
Pretty good. How about yours?
Oh, well. So quick
little history about us. So we do a lot of social justice stuff. So I'm gonna let you talk and introduce that real fast. Yeah.
So like you said, I'm Tori Ross, co-founder, director of an organization called Hands Up United. So one of the programs that we do is the workplace saving.
Oh, why Hands Up United? Does anyone here have ever heard of Hands Up United?
I like that. That's what I like. I like going crazy. Nothing. So Hands Up United started, I'll say about a month and a half after killing of Mike Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. So you
Does
started.
anyone remember that?
Yeah, remember that? Remember all the stuff was on fire. Hands up. So we started the organization because the people who are outside look like us. They were young people. And after the protests, we needed a place to organize something different. And so out of that, we started creating programs. One of the programs we created, even Link created, was Tech Institute. So I think it's the perfect merger of social justice and, it's activism, and merging it with tech and technology in a way that can be revolutionary. One of the Panthers always said that the people needed access to the technology and the resources that everyone else had. And so I always think about it as, I would say if the White House has MacBooks and they have all this great digital stuff, then y'all should too. So,
So to add on to what Black Panther said, they created a 10-point program. They created programs for the community, and their 10-point, like the last point said, control modern technology for the people, and you being the people. So right now, our society is no longer really run by officials selecting like bills. So it's really, people are coding your future. People are coding how you interact with society. What we learned in Ferguson is we thought we were like standing up to police. That wasn't even the front line, like they had surveillance, they had all this technology and weapons that we, it wasn't the civil rights movement where we're like, oh, we're gonna, embody Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and it wasn't like that. Exactly what took out the Black Panthers and what took out other past leaders, before we could even get started, they were shutting us down. And it was because of technology. So if you know how to work and do stuff with tech, not only do you, one, have access to the job market out here, which is cool, right? But you also have access of how do you bring resources into your own community. So one thing, I'm also part of the Live Free Christian campaign. And one thing we talk about is mass incarceration and the school to prison pipeline. So we all know right now we're dealing with people, there's corporations who are profiting off of young Black and brown bodies being in jail. I'm one of the students that went to a school to prison pipeline. 75% of the people I went to school with didn't graduate high school.
Wow.
75%. So we went, freshman year was 1,200 students. By the time we graduated, it was 267 students.
Wow.
Where did those students go? More than like 80% of the students missing went to jail. They're profiting off of that. And if you think who's profiting off of that, corporations aren't profiting off of that. We could give you like a list of at least 100 corporations. So we're talking about jobs. We're talking about, learn tech so you can be part of the job market. Well, what job market are you going into? Are you going into jobs to help corporations be more efficient? So they could be more efficient on profiting off of where you live, gentrifying where you live, creating tubes that hurt you and stuff like that. Right. So to me, I like to kind of like, we do want to get jobs because everybody needs money, right? We got to eat, we got to pay rent. But we also want to use this technology so we can understand what can we create in our own communities to bring stuff over here. Because it's not just about becoming a Black executive at Google. It's not about becoming a Black executive at Facebook. Because those companies, they don't care about people like us. And if they did trust all the money that Apple has and so much research they put into all of their designs, you don't think they would have fixed having 0.2% black and brown people working at their jobs? You don't think they have enough researchers to figure that out? They do. They're very smart. They come from the most elitist colleges, from Harvard, MIT. They could figure it out. But they're not trying to figure it out for a reason. So it's programs like this, and I know it's only for you today, but it's programs like this and meeting like people like us where we really need to continue like learning together, building together. And right now everyone has an iPhone, right?
No.
No? What do you have?
Android.
Android.
Sorry.
You have an iPhone? Y'all all have smartphones?
You got a bunch of iPhones, don't you, Jay?
So right now, tell me if it makes sense that if the government wanted to, or if a corporation wanted to, they know exactly what, like who's all here today. Because they're looking at your geolocation that you happily enabled, so you can get like the Facebook app. So they know exactly, they know I'm here, he's here, he's here. They know we're all here.
Who knew that?
No, I didn't know that.
So look, so one of the things I figured out, just talking to techies and stuff, doing Ferguson, is a lot of these apps are just, it's just a recording. And I would say that in most elementary way. And so, I mean, from everything from putting your phone down, and it's enabled, it's a two-way recording, it's a two-way look. And so the camera works both ways. Just like FaceTime work, that's how it's gonna work. Just like your microphone work when you talk to somebody on speakerphone, that's how it's working right now. And so,
Even if it's not enabled, it's recording us right now.
it's recording us right now, like legit. So it know everybody that's here, it know our location. When we drove here, we use your GPS, it know everything. And so when it pull up, it matches everybody dots or whatever. Now everybody know that we here. We all here together. They know this conversation. And so it's getting to the point where now, like Samsung has the panoramic camera to pan the whole room. And they got the, right. And so now the camera, you face it down or you try to, it don't matter. It ain't just looking up no more, it can look the whole way. And so,
That's why when you got two different cameras.
yes, sir, that's for you.
I just wanted to like bring that up, because it was an important learning lesson, as I said, in Ferguson, you know, as we're trying to organize this, people, you know, we have professionals who are like, yo, I'll help you out, I'll bring this to in this research. But we use Google Forms. Google Forms is a free tool that you could create a survey, people fill it out, put their information.
Yeah.
That information is private, it has people's like contact information, their phone number, address, like where you live, whatever, and what you could do to the movement, like how you can help. There was a couple of people like that who filled out this form who got fired from their jobs because they were a part of the movement. How did that information get leaked? Who knows? I don't, he doesn't. But using these tools, these free tools that people, you know, they're like, oh, hey, we have all these access to different things. We have to understand how they're being used. And what I'm a part of right now is also another organization that we're creating like open source and free software. So we know like how it's encrypted, how to protect the information, to have the information stored out of the US, so that if you give me like where you live, no government person can have access to that because it's in another country, the data file in another country. They can get access, but how I look at security is like anyone can break into your house, right? But if you put a fire alarm, a barricade, a fence, barbed wire, whatever, it's just different levels that they have to break into. And it's going to make it harder to like break into your house. So that's the information that we're sharing.
We're not trying to, so I always say I'm not trying to scare nobody.
I already know about this. I know about this one.
And so I would say that you know, why I love the tech program, and a lot of tech programs across the country is an introduction to tech. And so what you can do with it is boundless. And so you can start off just coding or graphic design. You can get into encryption and you can start protecting, what I would like to say is tech activism to protect your community and your assets. And also empower people. Like it's people who can now, do computer networking where they can have a strong Wi-Fi network in their whole community with 3 or 4 blocks of free Wi-Fi and everybody pay $1. And, instead of everybody paying at 50 or 100, everybody go in together. So those things, and now create people like y'all to create something bigger for the whole community. And so that last 10-point plan from the Black Panthers is everybody having that access to that modern day technology. Y'all can be the creators and builders of that. And so it is gonna be profitable. But you always have to think about that it's always people over profit. And that you don't want to sell nobody out. You don't want to create a Silicon Valley in your neighborhood because after a while, all your friends and all your neighbors who you love are going to be gone. And we can see this no matter how great Silicon Valley and San Francisco, Oakland is, over the last 6 years, I think it's less than 5 or 3% Black people now in a place that used to be 60. And I'm talking about people who live there, for 100 years now have to move. And so y'all are the front line in technology activism, and programs like this is story out story.
So I had a couple questions I got a lot of questions, hearing a lot more from the program from what I remember. I think I heard about it when you guys were starting it, so I didn't know that the changes that happened or even that, how they were affecting how technology on the other side, how they were affecting your activism. I didn't know about that. But the 2 questions I have right now is that you said you were working on a group of open source technology that's stored in another country. Is there a website for that, or how will we access that or find out about that?
So I can send you the website. I'll send you the link.
Okay.
It's called Unite.tech.
Okay.
And it's a group of technologists who are really advocating for people who don't know about technology, when it comes to like encryption and things like that. So it's a bunch of advocates.
Cool. That's one. The second one is, I know that WhatsApp said that they're now encrypted or something like that, but were they bought by Facebook or Facebook? So what does that mean? Because they started out outside of the country, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
But now Facebook is a U.S. country. So does that mean that
So
encryption
because-
doesn't mean anything?
Yeah, their encryption doesn't mean anything.
Okay. Cool.
So their encryption means we're gonna lock all the doors so no one can get in right now to see your information.
Right.
But
They can still
it
press
may
something
be
away.
because we can't see there's no doors for us to see like their code. Something like Signal. So you have Signal, you have WhatsApp. They're both 2 like texting. You could call people on there as well. Internationally, they're both free. But WhatsApp has more users. It has about like 1 billion users or something like that.
Oh, WhatsApp.
Yeah. WhatsApp.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you were saying the other one was.
No. So
Okay.
WhatsApp is like
It's not a
highly
place in
favored
the world that
everywhere.
I've been that people don't use.
Right.
WhatsApp.
Yeah.
But because they were bought by Facebook and Facebook works with the NSA, they actually make profit
What's
from
the
the
NSA?
NSA. The NSA is the national, I don't even know. What is NSA?
We can Google. Somebody can Google it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
Is it the National Security Association?
National Security Association.
Oh, these guys.
I don't remember.
I think it's a national security agency.
Y'all wanna look it up
Yeah,
real
get on.
fast?
You can Google.
I always forget. But the NSA, is part of looking at local terrorists, which, by their definition can be like Black and brown people who are trying to rise up and cause disruption in the society. So when they mean disrupt the society is disrupting the way corporations do like business, like every day. And if you interfere with business, then they will, they already know who the troublemakers are. So they do a lot of surveillance. They actually get paid. They have a budget from the government of $24-25 billion. So it's, and that's for local, that's not even for for outside, that's for local surveillance.
On the international level, it's listed the five, what they call the Five Eyes. So it's like Australia, Great Britain, US, South Africa. Missing a line. I can't remember. So it's 5 countries. They basically share their national security with everyone.
In South Africa and the US?
South Africa, the US,
You-
Australia, Australia.
No, it's Australia.
Yeah, I'm going there. So I'm a little afraid, but, and all these countries basically share their national security. And so when I was in South Africa, the U.S. Embassy sits on this large table on this mountain, kind of like Table Mountain, and they sit all the way up top. And they have this big glass building with all these like cool cameras, cool computers. But
Keep ready.
Huh?
Keep ready.
Yeah, it says, the Five Eyes are Australia, Canada, New Zealand, United Kingdom, and United States.
That's interesting. Right, and so they're like a super intelligent conglomerate, from what I'm gathering, is that they share this information to make sure that they have all the intellectual properties of all the information stored in different places in the world. And so it could be just, so being all the way in Australia, New Zealand, being in Canada, having the US, makes it a way that they can just gather and send it out. And so, you know, I think about all of that when we talk about solidarity with other places or other countries, as they look at us, as we look at them. And so I always try to think about like how deep does the rabbit hole go?
Yeah, so when we're talking about the local budget of the NSA, that budget is used to fund startup tech companies such as Dropbox, which is a very highly used platform who's on the board is Condoleezza Rice, who is the old, she worked in the Secretary of State of Defense, right? But if you look at government officials and tech startups, you'll see a lot of their board members are on these things. And a lot of tech companies, there's over 500 tech companies in Silicon Valley who's now currently receiving funding from the NSA. And all of that sadly is used on people of color. People of color and poor people have been being surveilled all since the beginning of our U.S. history.
If you look at data, like we say on the low end, like outside of we can go statistics, over 50% of the U.S. budget is the military budget. And so I think a fifth of that is just for surveillance. And so at that point where it's starting to grow more and more on the smaller end, how it affects us as everyday people is that they collect data on us throughout school and education. So we talk about school to prison pipeline. And so your reading and your math proficiency from 3rd through 6th grade determines will they build a prison in your state. And so they use the data of how many people can't read on their right level, can't count on their right age or grade level, and then they begin to build a prison. Because for them, they said if you can't read, you can't count, you can't produce, you can't really be fully exploited in the job market. And so they exploit you in another way. And so then those same people who go through school at 5 to 8 years old, can't pass the test. By the age of 12, you can't pass, and you drop out by 14 and 16, like a school like mine, or a school like Italy, you end up in prison. And so those same people who couldn't find a job now go to prison, and they sure enough they find a job. And to be honest, if you go to I think Philly, New Jersey, and a lot of these East Coast prisons it's a setup just like this. And it's a call center. And they work for American Airlines. or Virgin Airlines, or they work for Enterprise, or what's the other rental car place? For all these places, and all they do is sit on the computer. These are prisons. So you might call your airline at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, "Hey, I need my, I need my flight change," and it might be a prison.
What?
But the problem is the same people who can efficiently do their job while they're in prison, when they get out, they can't go work in American Airlines, and they can't go work in Enterprise. And so we start looking at how technology is used to be more efficient workers inside the prison, but it all starts from them using data on you to get you into the prison to exploit you.
So, I mean, I'm learning a lot of new things right now from you guys. So, and it's really a pleasure and a treat and surprise to have you guys come in and talk to us today. So the program that you did in Missouri, with your class being armed with all this information that you guys, I'm sure you guys told they a lot more than we know. What did they go on to do knowing this information after leaving class? Or some of it?
Talk about the first.
So with the first session, students were making websites for Black and brown businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why really the program started. So I was out there just helping tech support on the front lines, basically. And people were like, yo, like, I want to learn what you know. I want to learn how to build a website. And then people were getting ready to boycott large corporations in the month of October and really promote Black and brown businesses and get ready for the blackout, right?
Yeah, Not One Dime.
Yeah, Not One Dime was the campaign they were pushing. But they realized that the Black and brown businesses in the local areas, none of them had websites. So it's like, unless you knew a homie that knew how to get to like this store, you really didn't even know the store existed. And it could be like 2 blocks away from where you live, but people just, it was a Black and brown owned shop. People really didn't know it existed. So they wanted to create websites for these businesses. So we talked a lot about like Google search and how algorithms can be racist. Algorithms can have oppression factors into it. And just kind of explain the history of algorithms and how they push other people out. We talked about just a whole bunch of like, as we're learning like code steps and design and things like that, we were bringing some political education to each of the aspects. So the students created Black and brown, websites for Black and brown businesses.
Okay.
The second workshop as well, people did pretty much the same thing and added more social justice groups to it because they realized that not only Black and brown businesses were on the web, people doing great work. You really couldn't find like their work. Their voice was invisible. Good community organizations wasn't really like having an online presence. So the second one really worked with creating websites for social justice, local movements and different things like that. Then the third one, which was ran by Sarah Thompson, who is also part of Hands Up United, she did JavaScript for Justice, which I believe you will probably know more of that, because by then I do have a job and I had to go back to work or fired. So I had to like leave St. Louis and go back to California.
We want you to talk about that too. Maybe not today, but whenever.
Yeah.
Definitely want to expose them to different roles, tech roles. So what was it, the third?
So it was a mix. So we took the students from the second and the third session, and we took the second session, and then we had other students who wanted to learn graphic design. So we used it to do kind of from everything from graphics for websites to smaller stuff like memes and campaign kind of art. And so we trying to mold the two in social activism and saying that you need graphics and things to catch people's eyes.
Right.
Also, how do you, do graphics design for your website? And so some of the students out of these 3 sessions are really amazing. So the first session, we did a website for NDIRE and presented it at the Essence Festival. 3 of the students started their own like little tech company. So they build like websites, and 2 of those young men actually, one of them went back to West Africa and started teaching his tribe people in his village tech.
And the whole thing, and these are teenagers.
These are
so they're
teenagers, like
16,
19, yeah, 18, 19 year old, right?
And they created their own little, like, pretty much the little startup, and we gave them startup space at this hub we were working at. They
Yeah.
had a place to meet. And part of their profits went to starting a school in West Africa to teach youth there tech skills.
Yeah.
So it was like the community aspect where they're giving back as well as like resources and teaching.
Yeah, so I mean, you got Ned, what's the tall guy, Drake. They started clothing line, so they built a website for the clothing line.
It
So
was movement stuff.
movement, like T-shirts and hats and jeans and stuff and stuff. Like everybody, I would say most of them are still using the tech in a way to say that I'm going to use the activism. So the first session was really just people from the movement period. So a lot of the people who signed up were movement people.
Yeah, like one time like 6 of us got arrested.
We had a tech class that night.
Yeah. And then the next day we went to the tech class, like where they let us
Was
out.
that the one that was on video?
No, that was another one. Yeah.
Another.
So it was really interesting because we would get like, you see how you were all here? Police would be posted right there. And they would be like waiting for us. Because they felt that this was dangerous. That teaching young Black and brown people technology while during a time of extreme social like issues and uprising was very dangerous. And the police would seriously be outside the building waiting for students, but once the students would leave, they would follow them home.
Pull them over.
So as a way to intimidate, as a way so you don't come back to our class, they would pull them over, they would just harass them constantly. And what were we doing? We were teaching technology,
Something that anybody else.
web
in the world-
development.
Something that Obama said, oh yeah, we should be teaching young Black and brown people.
So no, what you're learning here, it could be a tool. Like knowledge is a tool, culture is a tool. What you're creating is something powerful. And if you have enough consciousness to be like, I'm going to create this, I'm going to keep learning this and build something unique for people to continue to uprise and to do movement work, you will be watched. And people will see that as a threat because, these are very important skill sets bringing the 21st century to, in order for us to stand strong. These are very important two steps. So like I tell people, learning how to code is pretty much teaching people how to read and write nowadays. It doesn't mean you're going to be an author. You're not going to create a book just because someone teaches you how to read and write. But in order to participate in the job market, you need to know how to read and write. Back then, today is code. You need to know and be familiar with tools, with technology, with, you don't always have to write code, but you should understand what happens if you do this, what's the after effects. So not everyone is going to be a programmer after they leave here, but you need to understand how technology is used in our society, and what you can create and build. So I know we said a lot, I just wanted to hear from all of y'all. Why did you sign up for the program and why are you coming back? Because I know you can stop at any time. No one's forcing you to be here. Unless your mom, dropping you off, like, you gotta get out this car. That's a difference, but why do you continue to come back? Why are you here? Why do you come back?
You want me to answer that question?
I want everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I've always been a game head. Always been a, big video game fan. Wanted to learn how to make my own games, been able to draw, come up with my own designs for characters that already exist. And it'd be nice, have the certification I need through this program.
I'm gonna tell you something that we're doing.
Sir, I was thinking the same thing.
I joined this program because growing up my life, my grandpa, he worked at AT&T.
he made a lot of money from, using technology, and actually it was him and only one other black man who worked at AT&T, making one of the money and the top ranked people there, and he retired, I think, 4 years ago. Since he's always been into technology, I was always with him growing up, and he showed me what to do with computers. He would take apart his computers and have me help him put them back together. And as soon as my mom found out about this program, he talked to me. He told me, Jay, you should do this because knowledge is power. Technology can be used for a lot of things, and there's a lot of stuff going on today, and this can really help you for college. And I really keep coming back because he wants me to, and it can help me in college. So I have this to boost me up in engineering when it's that time.
Nice.
I'm here because, I've been growing up around people who are in this community. A lot of my family members are either, developers or graphic designers. So I've grown up around them. They kind of influenced me. And one of my cousins, he kind of helped me, start coding. And once I told him about this, he's been telling me this. Keep coming back, keep learning how to code. You get to Silicon Valley, become a big software developer. That's kind of my dream. So yeah, that's why I keep coming back and doing this.
Similarly to what Jay said, I just think that with knowledge comes a lot of power. So I kind of wanted to join this program because I think as an individual, like no one can ever know too much. So I kind of want to gain from this, like just being a dynamic person in general and always having something to fall back on, whether it be a plan B, C, just anything, and to be able to be good at it all and help people.
So what I wanted to bring back to you, in Oakland, we just launched a program called Hunting 2.0. Hunting 2.0 is named after the youngest member of the Black Panther Party. He was 16 years old, his name was Bobby Hutton. He was also the national treasurer. So 16 years old, holding a national spot, and he was the first recruit. So after it was founded, yeah, they actually was like, yo, you're a young, powerful dude, we want you on our team. Sadly, he was also the first Black Panther to be killed by police, unarmed in his underwear. They still shot him 12 times. So what we wanted to do was really gather people who are against mass incarceration, gun violence, and the school to prison pipeline. We're working with youth 16 to 24 in Oakland, doing a gaming course. So part about games is not only is it fun to play, but you can raise people's consciousness because you need to experience that game. You make decisions. Are you going to move left? Or are you going to move right? Are you going to go forward? Are you going to pick something up? These are all conscious decisions you're thinking as you're playing a game. So the students are creating games to talk about mass surveillance, mass incarceration, the school to prison pipeline, and gun violence. And they're creating the game as if they're Black Panthers in their community, like they're Bobby Hutton, and they're creating different levels of these things. So I thought that was a really cool because you're into games, and I wanted just to share that with you.
That was a dope segue.
With your grandfather and your family, I think that's important. Part of the reason we named the Tech Institute in Ferguson Roy Clay Sr. was because Roy Clay Sr. is considered to be the Black godfather of Silicon Valley. He created HP's first laptop. He was born and raised in Ferguson. He was harassed by police when he was 14 years old because he was walking after 5 p.m. And back then, there was a curfew that Black people couldn't walk around. So police officers gripped him up and threw him into the back of the car and took him to a body of water. He thought they were going to kill him because oftentimes that's what police did, was kill, as today, kill young Black and brown people. But they told him a whole bunch of mean things, called him the N-word, told him not to come around and, anymore. And he felt really down. He was a very smart kid. His mom was like, don't ever let racism be a reason why you don't succeed. This system wasn't built for us, but you are smart. You keep learning. And he became one of the first students to go to St. Louis, first Black students to go to St. Louis University after it was legal that you have integration with Black and white students. He was the second student to enroll into St. Louis University, graduate. He graduated with a math degree and was one of the smartest people in his class, but when it was time to get a job, people told him that they wouldn't hire him because they don't hire professional Negroes. So what he had to do was then become a teacher. So he became a math teacher and was learning computers on the side. And then someone found out who he was and asked him, would he mind going to California and being a part of a team to build out this laptop idea that they had. So he created that, which, there's so many laptops now around, but he was one of the first people to be on a team and to roll that out. And what we wanted to do with naming the program, the Tech Institute program, Roy Clay Sr., was that we're tired of people saying, I want to be like Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg is from an elite family. He didn't even have to go to college because he was around so much education. He knew so much. He had so many resources. But someone like Roy Clay Sr., who was from a poor area, he was a Black person. He went through so much struggles, and he still continues to be the top person. But his name is often forgotten. He's still alive. He's 86 years old. We're really good, friends with him. I go to his house out in Oakland all the time to check in on him on Sundays. And he's very, very excited about young people learning about tech. And his key thing to young people is connect the dots. Understand how to connect the dots. What you are doing on your phone, connect the dots to what's going on in your school. Connect the dots with what's going on locally, nationally, internationally. Everything has a cause and effect. Everything has a reaction or a chain reaction. So understand how you impact everything. Which I never, he said that, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, sounds good. Until, we kept being in the movement and started connecting the dots, connecting the dots of police killings, started connecting the dots of poverty, of racism, of dividing people by different colors, connecting the dots on a lot of issues. And then you see the world differently. It's just wow, it's a big puzzle and you could actually connect it. So that's my advice to all of y'all. And then for future software developers out here, I say I wouldn't even want y'all to go to Silicon Valley just to be a part of Silicon Valley. To me, Detroit is such a historical place to be, live, come from. But if you're interested, one of the world's top coders, just a woman, Erin Teague, she's from Detroit. She's listed in Forbes. She's a good friend of mine. If you're interested, I know both of you aren't looking at me right now. I could connect you to her. She would be thrilled to connect with you all. I have a good friend who was at Silicon Valley who moved out here. He's also a developer. He works with Grand Circus, which is a startup hub at downtown Detroit. Like you all, I'll be happy to connect you all there as well. Definitely stay hungry, pay attention to everything, stay woke, as we say. And if you need anything, let us know. I'm from Philly, from the hood of Philly. From Badlands, North Philly. It's important for me to say I'm from Badlands, North Philly, because Badlands, North Philly is a place where all you see is prostitutes, all you see is crackheads, not even drug dealers. I can't even say oh, I'm a family of drug dealers, so we got mad money, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm a family where there's a lot of crackheads, where my family are homeless in the street, where you go outside and there's just trash everywhere. So I'm very proud and very humbled to be from that place. And when I go home, I still go home to Badlands. My family's still there. And, I'm very proud for where I'm from. I currently stay sometimes in Silicon Valley. It's not the greatest thing. It's a place with a lot of privileged people who don't really care about anything. They make seriously the $200,000 and they're like, oh, let's just buy everything. They just drink and do drugs and they create all these technologies. They don't care about the world. So to me, I hold myself accountable for being there, calling people out on their shit. I call out every corporation. People are like, oh, here she goes. And I'm like, hey, y'all.
You sure what that was?
So to me, it's important to be connected and rooted to where you came from and to understand the history of like the people in your area. And to me, Detroit, I've always had a city crush on Detroit because it had so much history. And I'm very honored to be here. I seriously admire Journey, the people working at Journey and organizing all of this. And I think what y'all doing is great. So kudos to y'all. I'm gonna applaud y'all because y'all here today. And it's pretty dope. I appreciate you. So I know we're interrupting y'all learning stuff. I could share my email information, Facebook information, Twitter, Snapchat, blah, blah, blah. With the, if you're,
I'm gonna put it, we're gonna
Your
put it right
teacher?
here.
Yeah.
So.
with Richard, and then he could share it out.
Yeah. One last quick question, and I mean, you guys can go as long as you want to go, you say that. But one question I do have though is that, you work for a company that allows you to be activists across the country. And one thing that I always try to share with them is that there's a lot of roles and technology gives you a lot of opportunities that you may have not known existed. I never knew that I wanted to volunteer anything like that. So that's one thing that the company that she works for, that there's options out there and tech leads you to other things and it enhances all of your, whatever your whatever your true passion is, if it's not tech, it enhances that, so.
So I just wanted to note this sticker I have. It says not a good culture fit. So even though I graduated with a 3.87 in Black statistics in college, wow, graduating high school, I didn't even know what a number line was. Then I graduated high school with probably like a 1.7 GPA. I was very proud of my GPA, of my degree, but oftentimes because I talked probably a little more urban and I looked a bit more urban, I often got told that I wasn't a good culture fit. Because my name was Idaline and it sounded like I needed a green card, and they didn't want to give me one, I was often left out. So I actually changed my name to Abby on my resume, and I got a lot of offers because of that. It allows me to get into companies. But why I'm sharing this is because you're learning tech, because you are a Black young person, you might be told this often because the culture of the tech of Silicon Valley, there's only 3% Black people. And guess what? Those people are janitors. Those people are customer service. They work in HR. You see a lot of like Google Black employees flying everywhere talking about stuff. Guess what? They're in diversity. They're in HR. They're not even allowed to like get behind most coding projects, even though they are qualified and they have every right as another person to be on these tech projects. They're often pigeonholed and boxed in little sections. Don't let that ever stop you. Don't let anyone tell you because you didn't go to an elite college. I didn't go to an elite college, but guess what? I sat at the table with people who did. Now, nothing's going to slow me down. Nothing's going to get in my way because I'm rooted and my passion is with my people in the community. And to me, it's like, it's my purpose and it's my duty to continue to strive, to work harder, so I can bring more resources to people who don't have it. So to me, that's my thing to you all, is you may not be a good culture fit. I actually have a YouTube video that is not public, it's private, but I'm crying in this video. It's like 4 years ago because I was homeless in Silicon Valley. I actually had to put my room up in Airbnb and I couldn't afford to live there. So I would ask people to pay for my house, but I sleep on the couch. or sometimes sleep in another person's couch, just so I could live in Silicon Valley. Because I didn't have money for much food, I was 20 pounds lighter than what I am today. I was going and having a lot of illnesses. And I've made it through a lot of interviews for a lot of companies on the last round. So there would be like 100 applicants. I'll be like the last 2. But I would never get the job. And why? Because I'm not a good culture fit. So I recorded myself, and I just listened to this last week, so that's why I'm bringing it up, where I'm like crying on the camera. And I'm just like, when you're supposed to change the world and you're supposed to disrupt things and you're supposed to be like an entrepreneur, you're not going to fit in. You're not going to be a cookie cutter fit. You're going to be different, and that's totally okay. And people won't appreciate you now. But in 10 years, you'll laugh at this thing because you'll be at a place where no one else can understand because you're a visionary. You see stuff and you solve problems, and you have a heart that's for humanity, that's people over everything, not profit over everything, which is what America is mostly is. So I'm crying in this video, and it's only 3 years later, and I'm just like, I was such at a dark place, such at a dark place. But I found a company that accepted who I am. And although they don't accept everything, and I often play a thin line of getting fired, leverage where you are in life to do good. So I'm a Christian, and to me it's like, back then I couldn't be doing what I was doing now because I didn't have the resources. But I still led with like a good heart, and I still gave back as much as I could. And when I say gave back, I was a partner of Black Girls Code. We taught 3,500 girls of color computer programming. Yet I didn't even have a place to stay. So it's like, you don't have to be rich to give back. You could work within where you are and give back. Now I'm at a company, I'm working on a global team. Now I'm in a lot of different spaces. So they allow me to go in this one space, and while I'm there, I'm leveraging where I'm at, and I'm talking to the people in the community. So I'm like, oh yeah, talking to corporations, and then step back and work with people in the community. So I'm leveraging my resources, I'm leveraging what I make. So back 3 years ago, I was making less than $15,000 a year. Just to live in the Bay Area costs, for your rent, $1,200 a month. So if you include all your bills, your student loans, food, you're probably spending at least $2,500 a month. So I didn't have enough money to even live. But now I do. So with my money, not only am I taking back and have some funds going home to my mom, I'm able to survive and actually have a bedroom. But 20% of every paycheck I save, and I'm building the tech programs that we're doing, putting funds into those things. It's not a lot of money, but if there's one person like me, two person like me, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, my little money then adds up, and then we could do more. So don't think, 1, that you're going to solve all the world problems, because you're not. 2, remember you need to work together. And 3, leverage where you are, wherever you are. And 4, best believe you probably would never be a good culture fit, and that's okay. I think you should be scared if you do fit in. It means you're not thinking how everything's connected. So those are my last words to you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. That culture fit thing is, it's real. When I finished my program at General Assembly, my web development program, we had a demo day with interview with different companies and everything. I came in a suit, and I know I look good in my suit. That's why I came in a suit. I know I smell good, everything. And they told me I may be intimidating to some of the people that were interviewing. So that was kind of a way of them telling me that I may not be a culture fit, or I may not come off as that. I still went out of my suit and I made it happen. I got a job. So just, understand that you guys have a value that no one else holds. No one else holds when you go to these different companies, and they need you more than you need them. So, all right. So we're going to do. Okay. So we're gonna do a little bit of Bootstrap. I'm gonna show you a way just to kind of link the library to your website today, because we only have about 8 minutes. Who wants to try it out?
I don't know how.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna walk you through it. All right, they can use it. Last year. Come over here. Matt, I think you know how to do it, and if you don't, I think you do figure out how to use the Bootstrap library. So I'm gonna have you pair you and Ishmael up real quick. Alright, so go to Hit Bootstrap, go to that tab. Scroll to the top of the page. Let's see here. Okay, click on Getting Started. Now, there's 2 different ways that we can link in the libraries, right, or a style sheet. Bootstrap is just a collection of CSS and JavaScript style sheets. We already know that. There's 2 ways that we can access these libraries. Do you guys know of one of the ways?
You can click on one of these tabs. So if you go to CSS, and then on the right side, you click on one of those categories, then they take you to a certain page and they have code listed, which you can copy.
We can copy, right, but we have to copy that style up, right? Because it's basically CSS sheets that's already coded. So we got to, so what I want to do is I want you guys to be able to access those libraries. Just copying the code, you won't actually be able to use those styles. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the first way, I'm gonna tell you guys, and then we'll go over there tomorrow. Scroll up to the top, click on Getting Started, and scroll down a little bit. Scroll down. Scroll down. All right, stop. All right, cool. Scroll up just a little bit. So what we're looking at right now is that these libraries have actually been uploaded somewhere on the internet. And you know the same way that we create a link to go to our stylesheet.css in our own website, they have this where we can actually link it within our website, and it goes out on the internet and pulls in these styles. So copying these links is one way how to do it. So copy that, and you can actually copy all of those, or you can just copy that one. We'll just use this as a example. Okay, cool. Copy it. Let me know when it's copied.
It's copied.
We'll go to Sublime. And where are you going to put that at?
In the head. Title, doesn't matter. It has to be in the head.
Cool. Man, that's all right. So that's one way. Let's just try it out. So let's scroll down.
You want me to open it up in the browser?
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Okay.
You can't see anything yet, but it's already opened up in the browser. But yeah, that's definitely how we'll check it.
Okay.
So scroll down to the body, and we're going to put some type of code in there to see. So let's go back to Get Bootstrap, the tab, and let's try out one of the examples that they have for us. So scroll back up, click on CSS, and scroll down and pick something that you guys want to see. So whether it's a form that they have, or a button, or it's a specific table, make sure it works.
I don't know, it's up to you.
Not a container. Let's do a button.
Go to the side. Yeah.
Cool. You can just copy that, any of that, whatever you want to do. Copy it and paste it into the body.
What is a grid system?
grid system? The grid system is what, allows your site to be mobile responsive. Let's say that the browser or the viewport gets smaller, it makes it so that it automatically conforms to that size of the device. So that's pretty much when you guys start to make mobile responsive websites, you'll always use some type of grid system. Foundation is another library. Foundation.
Okay.
Git Bootstrap is another library, or you can create it on your own actually. But if they've already created it for us, we don't necessarily have to do it.
So with Bootstrap, do you remember I tried to use it on the Cloud9 stuff?
Yeah.
Like, will it show up on here? Because you remember on Cloud9, yeah, because no, what did I try to? Yeah, like, will it show up on here? Because remember on Cloud9 it was like having difficulty.
It wasn't. Yeah, I'm not sure why it wasn't working. We're gonna test it out and see if it works right now.
Okay.
Hit Command S, and then you can either open up in the browser or it's already one open.
Yeah.
Did it work? Okay, cool. So that's one way how you do it. Now we're gonna go through, what's time? 12 now. Wait, I can go through the other way of showing you guys how to link it right now. You wanna see it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So go back to Git Bootstrap. Scroll all the way up and go back to Get Started. Because what it's doing, it's linking to a whole nother library somewhere out in the internet world, right? Okay, so those are three different ways: source code, SAS, and Bootstrap. Download Bootstrap. We're gonna do a download Bootstrap. So that's what we're gonna do. That's the second most simple way. You see that button on the left-hand side? It's right there. So download that.
I wasn't sure if I
downloading
could download it.
is compiled in minified CSS, JavaScript, and fonts. No code or original source files are included. So did that already unzip?
No, I was about to.
You already unzipped it?
Not
It
yet.
looks like it.
Wait. So like, do you want me to drag it somewhere? Or?
Hit Command plus. I can't really make out what I'm looking at.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's not.
Hold on.
Click on the CSS one. I know it's a CSS one up there. Right? Top one.
Yeah.
Does that say CSS? All right, cool. And what are those?
Bootstrap theme. They're
You
all
see
this,
bootstrap.css?
you said
Anything that says
bootstrap.css.
bootstrap. Yeah, that looks like bootstrap.css. So copy that. All right. Now let's minimize that and click on the Finder. Now click on Website. What we're gonna do, we're just gonna drop this whole style sheet in here. So just Command V. So paste it in there. So what that is, that's just like the style sheet that you guys created. That's another style sheet that's already put together for you. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's go back to Sublime. And I want you to erase all of that stuff that not the button, let's leave the button, but all that other stuff like that script, all of those links, we'll erase that. Type link, hit tab. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to link it to what we just dropped in there. So what do you think we're going to type? In the href.
The name of it, right?
Yep.
That's bootstrap.css.
Actually, comment that out real quick. Sorry. Comment it out and then hit Command S just to save it. The whole thing, the whole link. All right, that's cool. You deleted it. All right, you just hit Command S.
Yeah.
Go back to the browser and refresh the browser. So let's make sure that it's actually broke. That button looks small, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's the normal button. Okay, let's go back to Sublime and copy that link in there. Yeah. Oh yeah, you gotta do the whole link thing again. Man, that's cool. Now let's refresh that browser.
Yeah, no, it's
Change. Yeah. So those are the two ways that you can link in those libraries. So we'll continue to work with Bootstrap, and it'll kind of streamline and make some of the websites that we create, faster and easier. It's one library, like I said, they have foundations, they have other libraries also. So I'm gonna be here probably for another hour or so. So if you guys want to continue to work, I'm here, I'm not going to, I'll be around. But I know it's 1 o'clock, so.
We need to eat.
We're going to head out.
Just got off the plane too.
Yeah, thank you guys for,
Sure.
Yeah, good meeting.
All right, good meeting too. Play baseball, man?
Me too.
Good meeting. Play semi-pro.
And I'll send you my information.
okay, and I'll post it on there. Nice meeting.
And I know there's a couple of opportunities out here. I want to say 2 things. I got MIT is having a youth summer program, I think it was in August or something.
Okay.
Or they're doing something, I can't remember what it is, but the application deadline is July 11th, so it's around the corner. And it's for teenagers and they're teaching them about security.
Okay,
So I thought it would be like cool to kind of have include some of the students in it.
absolutely.
And
Is there
then-
age limit on it? Or is there?
I think they're just gotta be teens, but
Okay.
I can't remember
All right,
the
cool.
age. And then I wanted to connect you to Code 2040.
Okay, great.
Have you ever heard of Code 2040?
Yeah, I've heard of
So
it.
they're gonna be running programs out here. in Detroit.
Really?
Yeah, so starting in August,
Okay,
they'll be out here. I think it would be really cool just to like connect you.
absolutely.
Cool.
We would definitely appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
How long you guys around?
This week we leave Saturday early morning, and then we're gone next week, but then I'll be back on the 18th.
Okay. And you guys
Until
come back?
August 20th, yeah.
Okay. And we have another class starting next week, that's running all the way to August 19th.
Okay, yeah,
So-
we'll be around then. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool, cool, cool.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Sure. Bye, Sean.
All right, see. So wait, what are we supposed to be doing in 6?
Are they recording us or something?
Yeah, they're doing just a couple voiceovers or whatever that, Ryan.
And we're not coming here, we're going.
No.
Yeah,
Got
the
the
address on Northwestern Highway.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. That was a pleasant surprise. I didn't know if they were gonna be able to speak that long, but
Yeah.